Hello, my name is Devin Watkins from the Competitive Enterprise Institute. Other than CO2, EPA claims this rule's greatest emission benefits are from PM 2.5, but there are problems with that analysis. The Clean Air Scientific Advisory Board, a statutorily required independent board of experts, found that EPA failed to provide adequate evidence of PM causing nervous system effects or cancer, as EPA claimed. Even worse, according to members of CEI, EPA's mortality causation determinations appear to be almost exclusively based on epidemiological studies, which cannot be used in isolation to determine causation. The chairman of CEI identified what he described as unstated, untested, unverified, or mistaken assumptions, including the failure to distinguish between true exposure values and estimated exposure values in analyzing and presenting information. That EPA is relying upon studies which do not address exposure, measurement, and estimation errors, and should not be used or cited as evidence. To correct these statistical errors, CEI Chairman Cox said that EPA should use errors in variable analysis to correct for the exposure error. The EPA administrator at the time said that he had reviewed the errors that CEI identified and ordered that those problems be fixed in the final rule. But EPA didn't do so. EPA ignored the recommendations of CEI and proceeded without allowing them to continue to review the analysis as they requested. Instead, EPA removed all of the members of CEI, every last person, without addressing the problems they raised, and only let back on the panel those that agreed with EPA. EPA continues in this rulemaking to ignore the statistical errors identified by former CEI Chairman Cox. It continues to refuse to use errors in variables analysis to correct for the errors in the data that even EPA has acknowledged exist. This is inexcusable. EPA has a responsibility under the EPA to consider all important factors for its decision, including potential problems to its analysis that it has been made aware of. The Competitive Enterprise Institute sued EPA to ensure that it would be forced to consider the problems that CEI identified. That court case is currently being held in abeyance at EPA's request because EPA said they were reconsidering the rule. But this proposed rule does not reconsider any of the errors that Chairman Cox identified. It doesn't even mention them. EPA cannot continue to ignore the problems identified by the independent scientific experts EPA asked to evaluate its claims. Removing them from office doesn't eliminate those statistical errors, and EPA may be sued again if it continues to ignore the errors identified by the independent scientific experts EPA asked to review their work. Thank you.